Hello, chosen ones. This is your man, Steve H. First of all, man, I want to apologize to you guys, man, for being gone so long, man. Had a lot of things going on with me, and uh, I've needed to take a break. Take a break and just uh, work on my spiritual condition and work on my uh, physical condition, and just work on my life. Um, and as a result, I haven't really had the time uh, to put in the effort to make these videos. Um, and that's a bit selfish, but it is what it is, you know. Um, Man, first of all, I want to talk about what's going on in America today, man. You know, Mr. Klunk has just been inaugurated uh, into the presidency, and he's throwing out executive orders left and right. Um, and for those of y'all who don't know, uh, they're rolling back DEI, which DEI is diversity uh, and inclusion. Diversity, inclusion, and equity is what it is. And it's a form of uh, it's something that was uh, put into place to help stop racial discrimination in the workplace and in schools and just basically all over. DEI was put into place quite a few years ago, and it was to help non-white people uh, who excel, to have a chance where uh, they wouldn't necessarily have a chance before. It was uh, it was a mechanism by which each company or each school had to have a certain amount of minorities. They had to give these opportunities to a certain amount of minorities. And this administration is rolling that back. This administration is making it where companies don't need to have any blacks or any Hispanics, where schools don't have to have any blacks or any Hispanics. They can basically uh, they can basically discriminate at will because there'll be nobody there or no organization there to check. There'll be nowhere you can go and file a suit against them. There'll be nothing that we can do, and that doesn't really, at the moment, doesn't really affect people like me because I'm retired, um, and by the grace of God, I'm in a decent position, I guess. Um, but some of you guys, man, you younger guys, man, and ladies, it's gonna be rough, man. Things are gonna get rough. This administration is trying to take away all your rights. Right to inclusion, is a basic right that helps blacks and Hispanics and other minorities to level the playing field. Well, they're rolling that back, family. They're rolling it back. They're making it as though it never happened. This administration is getting rid of people in the workplace that were connected to DEI. Just getting rid of them. They got them on leave right now, uh, and the president has offered them buyouts to leave so that he could put his people in place, so that he could put people who have the same ideology and the uh, same ideas that he has, and who are beholden to him. This 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 administration is trying to turn America into an oligarchy, which means that the rich, the super rich, will rule the country, and the poor will stay poor and have to do whatever the super rich want them to do. You know, there's coming a war against homelessness or against homeless people. Some cities are moving them out, and they're making facilities on the outskirts of town. This is especially happening in New Orleans, um, and because the Super Bowl and the Mardi Gras is coming up. So they've rounded up all these homeless people and brought them out to a warehouse somewhere on the outskirts of town, and that's where they'll stay. Um, and it's basically all because they want the city to look clean, for visitors and things like that. Uh, Trump is rolling back a lot of uh, a lot of things that would help people. Um, he's chopping funding for some programs. And one that comes to mind for me is recovery programs. Being that I am a recovering alcoholic, um, and have been clean and sober for quite some time. Uh, but I realize and recognize and remember how hard it was to get clean and sober, and to stay clean and sober. Uh, but I also recognize and realize that had it not been for some of these programs, because I had to go through a few of them, but had it not been for some of these programs, I'd probably be dead or lost in the penitentiary, one of the two. And it was these programs, especially in my case, the Veterans Administration, which I don't think they're going to mess with that too much. But these programs that are helping addicts to get clean and to change their lives and become productive members of society, these programs are on the chopping block. They're ready to get rid of that. And see, what's going to happen then is that you won't have a lot of people who need recovery won't have a way to get recovery, and they'll be homeless, and they'll end up in prison. You know, we think about Trump's getting rid of the illegal migrants, the people who do the field work and pick the fruits and the vegetables and the cotton and all that kind of, well, not the cotton, but the fruits and vegetables, uh, the produce that we depend on. Those people are being, a lot of them are being uh, sent back home. Uh, and it's clear to me pretty much that what they're going to do is use inmates, convicts, okay, to pick the produce. There's an amendment to the Constitution that states, it's unlawful, it's unconstitutional for a person to be a slave unless they have committed a crime and are incarcerated. That's legal slavery. That's legal slavery. And make no mistake, there's gonna come a time when these little small drug charges that a lot of people get and get a slap on the wrist because it's nonviolent. you're not really hurting a whole lot of people. Uh, but actually, if you're selling drugs, you are hurting a lot of people. Um, but it's going to become where these little, probations and, little slaps on the wrist, especially for selling drugs, that's going to change. Okay. It's going to change. It's going to get to where if you get caught selling some drugs, you're going to do some big time. You're going to do some big time. That's the direction it's headed in. If you get caught using drugs, you're going to do some time. Maybe not big as the sellers, or maybe so. We don't really know yet. But things are changing, and they are not going in our favor, people. They are not going in our favor. You know, I hate to break it to you, but those of you who are paying attention, things are changing, and not for the better, not for us. This administration is for the rich and powerful. It's by the rich and powerful, and it's going to serve the rich and powerful. And those of us who are not, and who unfortunately don't have any power, for lack of a better word, uh, financial power, economic power. Uh, those of us who don't have that are going to be left behind. It's just that simple. And nobody's going to save us. Nobody's going to come and say, hey, you can't do that. Look what's happening to these people. Look what you're doing to these people. Nobody's going to be able to say that because Trump is putting all of his people in the key positions that's going to allow him to do whatever the hell he wants to do whatever the hell, whoever the hell he wants to do it to. Uh, it's getting ugly, people. It's going to be ugly, you know. So he's rolled back your right to diversity, equity, and inclusion, which is what DEI stands for. He's rolling back your rights, and he's taken everything but your right to vote, your right to free speech, and what other right? Free press. Uh, he's taking that also. They're going to take over the press. Um, but your right to free speech and your right to vote is the next thing that's on the chopping block. And if this administration gets their way, eventually that's going to go too. Uh, we had a very critical moment, people. Very critical. I just hope and pray that, you know, God intervenes and he looks out for his people, which, you know, I know we serve a God that does that. Um, but the thing about it is, it's on us. It really is. It really is on us to, what they say, pick yourself up by your bootstraps. Um, there's some tough times coming. There's some tough times coming, and I hate to say that and put that out in the atmosphere, but it's just a fact. There's going to be some things that are going to be put in place that are going to be totally against black people, totally against God's chosen people. Mm. Uh, if you look back, there was not too long ago a case with a guy named Daniel Penny who choked to death a young black man named Jordan Neely on a train in New York City. He literally choked this guy to death on a train in front of a bunch of people. And when he went to trial, he was acquitted. Well, Daniel Penny is a white man. Jordan Neely was a black man, and he was acquitted. And the day after he was acquitted, this shows you how these people feel about us. The day that after he was acquitted, he was invited to a skybox with the president and the vice president at a football game. This man who was just acquitted for killing a black man was invited to spend time with the president and the vice president. That should let us know what their priorities are and how they feel about African American people. It's not going to be pretty. I just hope, that we as black people have the courage and the strength and uh, the will bring our to the Most High and to do our best to come together and fight against this thing because they're looking to exterminate us. They've never been able to do it before, and they'll probably never be able to just wipe us from the face of the earth. But they can make it so hard you wish you wasn't on the face of the earth. They can make it so hard you wish you were dead. And I'm a living witness to that because I've been through some stuff like that over the years. So we got on people. This country has been fooled and bamboozled, and even a lot of white people now, a lot of poor whites and middle class whites are regretting voting for Mr. Trump. So it's gonna be ugly, and I really hate to put that out there. I really do, but it's a fact. I'm a realist, and I believe in looking at fact. Calling a spade a spade. Let's just hope and pray that it's not as bad as some of us foresee it getting. Let's hope it doesn't get that bad. Let's hope that the Democrats and, you know, African Americans and people who are for equality and for uh, humane treatment of others, uh, let's just hope and pray that, we're able to stand up to this. It's not going to be pretty. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's not going to be pretty. Anyway, once again, I want to apologize for not, being on the platform for a while. And I want to invite you guys to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel because we're going to be going in. I've decided to go ahead on and go in and cry aloud and spare not. Um, So, with that said, uh, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I'm going to continue to bring y'all content and hope and pray that things get better. So, listening. Peace and blessings.